about the mark of the beast? We'll cover much more on this on our college class, CSE 200 series, but the Bible says they're going to receive a mark in their right hand or forehead, and you cannot buy or sell without this mark. I have studied this a lot. I'm sure no expert, but I believe we've already got it available today, this little microchip, about the size of a grain of rice, that's been developed for 20 years now. They've been 15 or 20 years they've been using this. Dean Martin, some of you might have been here when Dean lives right here in town, came to speak to our staff about the microchip. He took one of these little chips, put it under his arm, and walked past his laptop computer, which had a little sensor built into it. Are you here for that, Diane? And up on the screen flashed his name, address, phone number, social security number, birth date. The chip doesn't store any of that. The chip stores a code that triggers the computer to find all that. Technology is already here to make a little chip that's just a transponder. A radio frequency goes out, energizes the chip, which has no battery. The antenna picks up the energy and sends back, here's my number. I am number, 325C95, whatever. Exxon gas station, you can buy these called Speed Pass. You walk up, pump your gas, touch the pump, get in your car and drive off. McDonald's is doing this. You carry a little chip on a keychain. You walk up, touch the McDonald's cash register, pay for your food. Anybody ever seen that before? It's been available for 5 or 6 years. Okay? This article came out in CNN. Is human chip implant wave of the future? Years ago, people have been putting chips in themselves to activate their whole house. Kevin Warwick's really big on this. When he walks into the room, the light comes on. His whole house is computerized, and it's all based on a chip that he's got in his arm. So, it can be done. Hitachi Corporation developed a new Mu chip, which only holds 128 bits. But that's the size of it right there. 0.4 millimeters. You can put it inside a piece of paper and not find it. There's a family in Florida a couple years ago who was real proud of themselves. They put microchips in because they have health problems. And in case they get hurt in an accident, they can scan their body and find out, oh, this is George, he's got hemophilia, whatever, There's a little chip there. You can see the antenna, which receives the radio signal. That signal energizes the antenna, which activates it to send back its signal. It gets its energy from an outside source. Well, Carl Sanders has a whole bunch of stuff on this microchip technology. You can get a hold of him in Arkansas if you want. Put his website up here. But as far as using money, the Bible says the love of money, root of all evil. This microchip technology is going to be used to develop one world currency. All cash is going to become obsolete. You're going to have a chip in your hand or in your forehead, or you cannot buy or sell. And we are racing toward that technology, racing toward that reality right now. I don't know how much longer it's going to be, but I'll be surprised if we go 5 more years. Without cash, credit cards, everything being eliminated, you have to have a chip. I don't think there's going to be a grand moment when Christians can stand up and say, you're not giving me that chip, I'm going to go stand up for God. It's just going to be a simple matter of you get slowly choked out of society. Well, you just can't buy here. No cash. Sorry, we don't take cash. We don't take credit cards. We don't take... All we take is, you got to have a chip. It's going to solve a lot of problems and create a lot of problems, which ties in probably to the HAARP technology, High Altitude Aurora Research Project, HAARP. They've been doing research for years trying to use the aurora, where the northern lights are, to control weather. There's a lot of folks and a lot of stuff on the internet thinking that probably these hurricanes in the last couple of years have been controlled deliberately. By sending up microwave frequencies, they can heat up a section of the sky and make a virtual lens, and then therefore use the sun's light coming through that lens to heat up the ground, like you burn ants with your magnifying glass, High Altitude Aurora Research Project. They can make a virtual mirror with this stuff. How much is real? I don't know. It's an interesting study. They use ELF, extra low frequency, and you can get into all that if you'd like. There's been a ton of research done on this, and there's a lot of strange things up in Alaska and up around the North Pole that apparently are for this purpose. They drill a hole in the ground. Everything seems to be below ground, probably for multiple reasons.